It's now time for our first edition of the Fleet Report here on Sports Talk. Welcoming in a new partner, the Erskine College Flying Fleets. And we have Athletics Director Mark Peeler with us to kick things off tonight. I know you're a basketball guy, but I'm using football terminology. First of all, welcome. Great to have you guys on board. I got to believe there was excitement on campus today with the signing day and you guys signing some new football players to your new program.
Yeah, it really was, Phil. I mean, first of all, thank you for having us. We're looking forward to this partnership. And yeah, we signed 12 kids today to go to with our class for next fall, and we're hoping we finally get a chance to play this spring. It's been such a long wait, and so we're excited about that. Absolutely.
I mean, well, a long wait going back, 50-something years, and then the fall
Yeah.
season gets put off, and now you're hoping everything can be held together. What's it like dealing with COVID at a school the size of Erskine with your athletes and your various programs? I mean, we hear about it all the time from your bigger schools, but you guys have to test and deal with quarantines and all that stuff too.
Yeah, I don't think it's any different. I think everybody struggles with it, and for us, the one thing that we've tried to stress is that it's a day-to-day. It's a day-to-day operation. I mean, you wake up one morning and think everything's going to be fine that day, and all of a sudden you got a couple positive tests and you're shutting down programs. And we've already seen, I believe we've had 8 basketball games postponed and rescheduled, and we got basketball teams playing back-to-back, and just whenever we can I find opportunities to play. So yeah, all the testing makes it really, really difficult. You just don't know how to plan for anything. So you just try to live day to day and hope you can get as many games as you can for your student athletes.
And of course, no fans at your games. So you really, for schools with an athletic budget of your size, you've got the extra expense of testing. You've got the loss of revenue from no fans in the stands. And just like with the big schools, I guess it's a bit of a squeeze for you.
Yeah, it really is. It's tough financially. You lost a lot of revenue possibilities from the gate, from having fans. And yes, the testing is the number grows for us, unfortunately, daily. We've been very fortunate. DHEC helped us out for most of January when it came to testing. But that has kind of gone away now, and now we're having to pay for our testing. And for basketball, it's 3 times a week, and for football, it's once a week. So there's a pretty substantial expense for a small college like us. And so that's hard, and we don't have really any way to make that up. But at this point, you just try to do anything you can so that your student athletes get a chance to play games.
That's the important thing. I got to believe they're grateful just for the opportunity to be practicing and to play some games.
Yeah, it's really hard on our parents and people who really want to come to the games and see their sons or daughters play. But we have to put the health and safety of our student athletes, not just our team, but the team we're playing against, at the forefront. And that's forced us to not allow fans in the stands. And we've gotten a lot of complaints about that, but really you got to put the priority at just being able to play. There's a lot of Division II conferences across the nation that aren't playing this spring, and so we've been really fortunate to have gotten in a couple basketball games, and we're hoping baseball starts this weekend, and so we're hoping we will get as many contests as we possibly can in all 24 of our sports this spring.
Been an interesting time for you as well. You were the longtime men's basketball coach, and then you stepped aside from that about a year or so ago, stayed on as AD. You're still the AD, but now you've assumed the job of coaching the women's team. So you're back on the bench.
Yeah, we got to a situation in early August where we had a coach resign, and knowing that the situation with COVID, not really sure whether or not we'd have a basketball season, it just looked like a smart thing to do to not bring somebody into the situation that we just didn't know what was going to happen. And so I kind of decided that I would take over the program for the year, and it's a really young team, and we knew they were going to struggle. and just bringing somebody into that situation probably wasn't a fair thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, so that's kind of how it kind of evolved. It's been kind of fun to get back into it, to be honest with you. But we just have a really young team. We don't get to practice very much. We've been shut down from COVID twice now. And so we're trying to get better, and trying to get opportunities to get better. It's just a rough go right now for any sports, to be honest with you.
Sure.
This is Mark Peeler, the athletic director for Erskine, as part of the Flying Fleet Report here on Sports Talk. And, yeah, Erskine was lucky to have a basketball coach as their AD in this particular situation. Yeah, that's true. Now, you're trying to relaunch football coach, and I love hearing these hiring stories. What was it about Shap Boyd that led you and others to believe he was the right man to relaunch with Erskine? Because it's a truly unique situation, so he has to be a unique guy to do it.
Well, we knew we had to find somebody that was tough and had a lot of resilience to him. I mean, because this was going to be such a hard process. I didn't know it was going to be this hard. But, we didn't have any idea we'd be facing a pandemic that we had to deal with as well. But there's just so many obstacles that come along the way in the past 3 years that dealt from the day that he got hired to the point that we got to now. And, Shap clearly demonstrates the qualities that you need in somebody in this kind of situation. And I know he's gotten frustrated over the past couple years, and especially in the past few months, not being able to put his team on the field. But he has the toughness that we were looking for, and I feel like once we get out on the field, you're going to see that toughness demonstrated in his team. I just think that they're going to be a tough group to handle, just because of the mentality of their coach. And I think that's what you got to have when you have a startup program.
Have you been able to sneak out to watch some practice?
I got an opportunity to watch them play or scrimmage a lot during the fall. They tried to scrimmage every Saturday morning in the fall, and it was great to watch football being scrimmaged. And it's hard to tell where we'll be when we open up against Barton at the end of February, but it's still going to be such an exciting thing to get to experience.
And let's mention, you'll be opening up, like you said, against Barton, but then you've got home games coming up, and you're going to be playing over at the very nice facility over at Greenwood High School. Yeah,
we open up March 13th at Greenwood High School. We right now we're at 50% capacity. The state's allowed us to have about 50% of the capacity, which is right around 2,500 people. And we're hoping that we'll be able to attract that many people. We're hoping that COVID will become a little bit calmer at that point, and that we'll be able to have, a crowd that is acceptable during COVID for that first experience. It's going to be different just because it's in the spring, but we're not going to be able to replace that first game moment. So we want to do it right, and we want it to be a really great experience.
Coach, it has been a pleasure. We're off and running with the Flying Fleet Report here on Sports Talk. We look forward to further visits with you and your coaches. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you for having us, Phil. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure. Mark Peeler, the AD at Erskine, Flying Fleet Report here on Sports Talk.